Looks like you've been added to the close friends list. Welcome to the new and improved Close Friends List podcast, your weekly dose of laughs, gossip, and really whatever pops into our mind. As you know, the close friends list is always changing and always evolving, so make sure you stay a part of ours. You can find us wherever you listen to podcasts and on social media at Close Friends List Pod. We're so excited to have you as a close friend. Now, on to the episode.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Close Friends podcast.
Oh my gosh, introed by our own guest.
Wondering who that special voice is.
Yeah, we have a guest this week. Some of you may know her just out of, closeness to the people on this podcast. Proximity. But today we have a special guest. You also may know her as one of our in-studio producers, as she has sat in with opinions on a few of our previous episodes. At this point, she is a staple in the Manley household and has been coming to holidays and family dinners for years. She also officiated my wedding, so you may recognize her from the photos.
Long-time listener, first-time host.
No, literally. Long-time listener, first-time host.
Very true.
And she's basically my second sister at this point. Everybody welcome Devon.
Yay! Hey, everybody.
How's it going, Devon?
Yeah.
I'm hanging in there. It's going good. Happy to be here. First-time host.
Yeah.
Love doing that intro. That was so fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Just wanted to steal Adia's spotlight for a minute
that.
there.
No, please.
That's fair. That's
Honestly,
so fair.
Put us in our place.
Erin just looked exhausted from doing it every single time, so I wanted to give her a little break here. So
I thought you were going to be like, Erin looked exhausted from just closing her laptop at work to opening it for this podcast, but no, doing it every single time works too.
No, you look amazing.
You do. I like that purple on you.
But thank you guys so much for having me.
You.
Never thought I'd be on the podcast, as I am not pop culture girly.
Well, we rebranded, so now things are different.
I know. So I'm so excited.
You're a close friend, so you're on the close friends list,
So I'm thrilled to be here and to be a part of the close friends list. I really shoved my way into the Manley household. So, honored to be here.
Yeah, can you give us a little bit of a backstory of how you became our close friend generally?
That is such a good question.
Actually, I would really love to know.
Take us back.
Yeah, so let's go back. Take us back to 2016, Radford University. Picture a college classroom. It's probably 8 p.m. Studying for some exam I probably will not pass. Probably had to do with math. A bunch of people I kind of know in a college classroom were studying. There's a girl in there. Her name is Nikki Manley. I barely know her, but I was invited to the room by a girl named Bree Barone. Bree, shout out to you. I don't remember the full story, and if you ask Nikki, there we go, don't know her name.
All good.
She also doesn't know the full story, but some joke was made at her expense, and I made it. And
that sounds about right, honestly.
But a lot of people laughed, and it was probably an accurate joke, and that made Nikki very mad because it was funny. And I didn't know her, and she hated that. And so she immediately hated me, and we were mortal enemies, and I wasn't aware of that. So for the next 2 months.
She's like, I don't know her.
Yeah.
I don't know you.
That was essentially it. So for the next 2 months, every time I showed up, because Brie was like, hey, we're studying. Do you want to go? I worked at Starbucks, so I got everybody free coffee, and I'm pretty sure that was my in.
Absolutely.
So Nikki would text Brie and be like, why is she here? And Brie would be like, because it's an empty room, and she brought coffee, and she needs to study. And then I'm not entirely sure what happened.
Well, yeah, because fast forward, I mean, you're here.
Yeah. Fast forward, time jumped, we're here. We just, I broke down those walls little by little. I just kind of chipped away at her. What can I say? I'm real funny and charismatic. I really don't know. We just slowly became friends over college. We ended up living together our senior year, the second half of the year. I guess our super senior year, because we both graduated late. Shout out to everybody else who had to do college for next year. And then I actually moved to Georgia after college, and then I got a job in Virginia Beach.
Wow.
Moved up here. did not move in with Nikki, moved in with other friends, but she pretty much ended up spending every single day and weekend at our townhouse anyway, with our friend Trevor. And then, yeah, the rest is history. We became best friends, ended up moving in with her last year. And yeah, I don't know. We've just been friends ever since.
Yeah, and you really, I will say one thing about the Manleys is, like, we do make friends family. Like,
Yeah.
my whole life we've done Thanksgivings with, like, other families, like, not our own family. Like, we're like, friend for family people. So I feel like, like I said, you officiated my wedding.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
We had you guys know the family emergency a month and a half ago. Devon was in the ER with us both.
Yeah.
One thing about me, I'm gonna show up for
Girls
something.
there, so, you know.
Lumped into the
Officiating
fam.
the wedding was funny. That started as a joke. We were like
know.
talking about Katie got married in the peak of COVID, and we're just joking around one day about how she couldn't find someone to officiate it, and I made a little tiny. I have to stop joking
Like,
about
hee hee.
things.
Jokes
Yeah.
are
I was
really
like, hee hee
that's what's
hee.
getting you.
Yeah.
I'll officiate your
Yeah.
wedding, and then it turned into, hey, what if you actually
do it?
officiated it?
Yeah.
So I did. And other than a microphone malfunction the day of,
Not the fault of you.
you know,
Yeah.
it went
Yeah.
pretty well. And that turned into us making corsages the night
Yeah.
before and bouquets. And
Yeah.
I've spent a lot of Thanksgivings and Easters with the Manleys.
Lot of
I've really
Easters.
just moved my way into that
And I will
family
say,
chip by chip.
yeah, at this point, if there's an event happening and I'm like, I'm going to my parents, Scott will say, is Devon coming with Nikki? And if she's not, Scott may not come.
Yeah. So it really ends up being like
That's
Scott
iconic.
and I as the husbands in the
Yeah.
kitchen talking about something.
Yeah.
And I just have to laugh because I don't know when that happened or how it happened. But if there's a family event, somehow it's Scott and I off in a corner, like talking about something completely stupid, and just Katie and Nikki talking about something pop culture related. And I'm like, oh no, we've become the husbands in the kitchen talking about
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
nothing. So, but
Scott's like, I know why I'm here, but
Yeah.
Scott's like, I'm married to be here. Devon is here because
By choice.
Literally
yeah.
by choice.
yeah, no, it's gotten bad. It's gotten to the point where Nikki's parents have looked and been like, so, and it's like, no, we're both straight. We're just really bad at dating. At
It's
all.
the area,
So-
too, though.
Yeah.
I mean, we
Yeah.
know the area.
Rough
It's rough
area.
out here.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
for sure.
So, but I mean, it works. My family lives really far away. My family's overseas, so I don't get to spend holidays at home. So it's kind of nice to have family here too, to spend time with Manleys. And even in college, it was nice. I remember I came home with Nikki for a couple breaks, and I think it was one of the first times I'd met your mom. I came home for some sort of a break, and I was sitting on my phone on the couch, and Nikki was probably in trouble for something at school or her grades or
I
something,
mean-
doing homework. And your mom looked at me and she said, I know you have schoolwork you can be doing right now. You can put your phone down and do homework. And I went, you know what? You're so right. You scare me. I started doing my homework.
I'll do that.
And I barely knew this woman. So, you know,
That's iconic.
start of history. So, yeah, that's
Okay,
the...
you know.
That's the general lore.
the general Manly lore. And now we realized the other day I've been friends with her for 7 years, which is kind of insane when you think about it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Especially
Crazy
like
time.
post college, it's hard to keep up with people sometimes, you
yeah.
know. So
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, it is crazy. We were thinking the other day, we've got a pretty substantial group of friends. We've all been friends since college.
I was noticing that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
we're-
first time I met you guys, I'm like,
yeah, the
this
hockey
is like
game, 'cause there was, like-
friends.
Oh,
like these
yeah.
are like friends.
They have like a group chat with like 10 people in
I'm
it.
like,
Yeah.
oh my
Yeah.
gosh, I've never
crazy.
experienced that.
Yeah,
It's like real world.
it is really weird. My sister brings it up all the time because she doesn't have a group of that from college. And funny enough, we went to the same college. Not that that matters, but I don't know why. We're all almost 30 and we're still really close. We try to spend New Year's together every year, and we still do birthdays as much as we can, as many
Yeah.
people
And
can
especially
make it.
with the amount of people in your friend group and how far some of you guys live, it is kind of like a testament to like keeping up
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, the amount of people that will fly in and stuff for New Year's is kind of crazy. So it is really nice that we're all still really close. I'm super thankful and fortunate to have those people, and we're all
Yeah.
too insane to stop being friends now. So we're
I
kind of
love
stuck.
that. I'd watch that
I
show.
love friendships.
Yeah.
Wow.
The show would be good
It'd
because some
be
of the
good.
tea that comes out of this
Oh,
chat,
yeah.
I'm like, I gotta know.
It would be
You're like,
canceled
"We?"
like really quickly.
I would subscribe though.
But
for sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
it would have to be a YouTube channel because it would be
for
banned
sure.
from
You guys
TV
would be like
quick.
a low gang situation.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Like
a
a
Logan.
Hype House?
Yeah, for sure,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, we are not making it on cable television.
Definitely not.
At all. Or if our group chat ever got leaked, no one's going into politics.
Oh.
Like, it's not.
Well, that's already out the door since you're on the podcast.
Exactly.
So.
I know, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
If
well,
you
it's okay. I don't think
wanted to be in
politics was really ever in my
Where you're
future.
going. Yeah.
I've said some really questionable things.
Same.
Just in public. So
Same.
I don't. Yeah. I don't.
Yeah.
No, it's okay.
It's giving like I was just thinking about how at the hockey game Bree was like, "Do you guys know about smut?" Like Adia.
I turned around. I was like,
It's like that's what the
"There's
group chat's
families
giving.
here."
yeah.
This was my first impression of her too. I'm like,
Idea.
oh
I
my
have seen your
gosh.
private Instagram story. I don't
Please.
think yelling smut in public is your concern
Well,
for
that-
running for politics.
You just said private Instagram. That's
Thank
the
you.
difference.
Yeah.
That's
You're
the
telling me
difference.
someone's not going to record that and put it public if she tries to run for politics.
I do feel like maybe this is just the main character in me, but
Yeah.
I feel like there's like a sus person
No,
on
it's
my
that
close
Insta
friends.
stalker. It's the person who's
Yes,
like
like I feel
commenting.
like it's someone that I know that is
Yeah.
like relatively close.
Yeah.
That is like stockpiling all of my close friends
It's
stuff
actually me.
and just waiting to get it out there. And I'm like, God, I hope I can.
Once Adia makes it like big,
That's what I'm
they're
saying.
just
Like
gonna
they're
drop
just
a
waiting.
time.
I
Leak
just
it now
know
so
it.
we can get big.
I
That's
just know it.
Like, hello.
I'm trying to make money today.
We need a scandal.
I
Come
gotta
on.
take a look at my list again and see if I'm filling any sus people out. But
Yeah, that's real.
That's
jeez.
crazy.
I wouldn't be surprised though. Like if that happened, I'd be like,
Yeah.
What do you feel like you're saying on there that's like really going to get you out of that?
Probably like 2023 stuff.
yeah.
Not
When?
anymore, but like
Yeah.
Well,
earlier
you-
this year /
Devin, you weren't on my Finsta.
No.
Or okay, so Finsta was really where it was at for a bit.
Now I feel like I missed a chapter. I'm going to need.
I mean, it's still there.
If Adia's stalker is listening, if you could just send me that file.
Just like a
I would
quick
love,
send.
quick
yeah.
report. Yeah,
Little
no, it's
DM.
pretty bad.
I would
It's
love to
pretty
catch
bad.
up
Yeah.
on that.
I just yeah.
It's so funny.
Yeah, don't
Blast
worry.
from the past.
Yeah.
I'm right there with you, man.
Yeah,
Don't.
It was a
don't
time.
worry.
2023 was a time. So.
It's okay.
It's fine.
My social media is fine. I'm really bad with social media. Like, I'm
Yeah.
terrible at updating it. I'm pretty sure I did a post recently, and I was like, I haven't posted in a while, realizing that I hadn't posted since December of last
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
But if any of the group chats that I'm in get leaked,
Donzo.
there's charges coming against me probably. Like
charges.
Not charges.
like harassment,
Definitely
defamation,
Logang then. All right.
defamation of
One.
character. Like there's
Oh my gosh.
there's people coming after me. That
Yeah.
have said some things.
I'd get a
so-
couple libel charges, I think.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. There's some
libel. We're bringing out the big guy.
Listen, Katie. Yeah, there's some things. Okay,
That's
you can say things in the safety of a group chat
Thank you.
if you
it's
trust
like
those
WhatsApp.
people enough.
But it's not like
I feel like parts of the episodes that we like edit out and cut, like
Yeah.
if that made it out, it would be
It'd be
some
okay.
of that would be a little over, but
Yeah.
Definitely some moments for sure. So we do have a question for everybody this week. Let's say that regardless of what job you have, you'll make $200,000 a year, enough to live comfortably without having to worry about expenses. What job would you choose to have if money were no object?
so first off,
I would do the bare minimum. I'm gonna be honest. Like, am I gonna be? Because I don't
Yeah.
want to work.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say I have to
So-
work for this.
I mean, it could be any job. It could just be
Like any job, I'll be like,
I'd probably be the sticker giver at Walmart.
Okay, yeah,
yeah,
low stakes.
I'll be the Costco like receipt checker.
I don't know if I want to
And then
stand
just
in a
boop,
Walmart
boop.
all day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
But I'm making 200 grand, so like, it's okay.
Probably be like a professional hockey watcher.
well, I was thinking, could I do something
wag?
like there? Yeah.
Yeah. Or like something I enjoy doing.
I know. I
Yeah.
feel like it would be fun to be like an influencer, but then it's like it wouldn't because you have so many. You have to come up with so
Yeah,
many
you have to
different
do a lot
stuff.
there.
You gotta record
You
a
do
lot of
so
things.
much,
You gotta
yeah.
edit.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd probably be like a candy tester or something, like for quality assurance or
oh
something
yeah.
like that.
Have you
where-
seen like the ice cream people?
Yeah,
Like yeah,
I'd probably
yeah.
do something like that, something low key or
Maybe I'd be like someone's like professional shopper, and so I just like
Ooh.
spend their money, and then I'm getting a good paycheck too.
Yeah, that's good.
You know, that could be enjoyable.
I like the idea of being a book reviewer too. Although that's like a lot of work too with like
Yes.
But
You have to
I'm
read the
already
books
reading
and,
the books and I'm already
You're already giving
reviewing
those
things,
reviews.
so-
Yeah, but then you have to read all the books that
that
they
I
want
don't
you
want
to
to read.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
You already have to do that anyway, Katie. Like,
That's
Yeah,
what
there-
I'm
might as well
listen.
do it for money.
Yeah,
That's so true. That's so true.
but think of all the like Colleen Hoover books you'd
No,
have to
I
read.
know.
I can't
Yeah.
go through that. No.
well, I feel like you could be like picky and be like, oh, I'm just gonna review like
Certain
this type of book, or
Yeah.
like
That's true.
you don't have to do everything.
professional talker for that much money. I love to yap. That's why I'm on this podcast today.
Yeah.
I love
Exactly.
to talk. I'll talk about anything. I'm a recruiter for a living. I will chat
Talk about anything.
I will talk about anything. I talked to someone today about zooplankton.
Please.
I don't know what that is.
That's wild.
I called it a zooplankton for the first 3 people I called.
I would say that too.
That's so funny.
The project
Okay.
manager running the position called it a zooplankton.
No, I think that's what it is.
No,
because I took marine biology
Yeah,
classes.
she's an environmental
well,
scientist.
the person who had a master's degree in it corrected me today and said zooplankton, and I went,
Okay, 1 out of at least 6 people
yeah.
said
Well,
that.
yeah.
So
true. Well,
odds are not in their favor.
American people, if you would like to comment down below and let me know if it's zooplankton or zooplankton, that'd be great.
Because
It doesn't matter to me anymore, but it'd be good to know.
sometimes when you talk to people with masters, I'm not talking about you. I saw. I was sat up. Sometimes they just want to be like, no, it's actually.
They just want to feel
what I
smarter.
mean?
We
Yeah.
do.
Well, and
Because then they feel like they don't waste their money.
exactly. Because
I did. I did.
Adina has said on this podcast that she wasted her
know,
money with that.
exactly.
So it's like,
and it's different because you did something actual like this. I'm so sorry to whoever this is. Like sometimes a science masters, it's like, what are we doing? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
if you're not,
Okay, yes, but also some jobs do require you to have it for
yeah.
no good reason.
Not mine.
But well,
None of mine.
what science job are you doing right now?
she has an MBA.
I have an MBA.
I know.
Yeah. So hers is worth something.
I'm looking at the place you work right now.
Yeah, they've never asked to see an ounce of a degree. Either one.
And you know it's a beautiful building.
Either one, honestly, same.
Either one.
That's so real.
You're talking to the right person. I am a recruiter / now project manager.
Look at that.
And would you like to know what my college degrees are in?
Yes.
Criminal
actually.
justice and psychology.
Psychology
So
will get you.
Nobody
That's how they
cares
get
what I
ya.
went to school for.
I literally have
No.
a music degree. What do I do? Publicity. Like, it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Degrees are just.
They're
pieces
just
of paper.
pieces. Yeah.
I mean, I don't use my degree, so that's why I try to name drop it so often. I'm trying to get the squeeze out
Absolutely.
of it.
Oh, I
you
get
know?
it.
Like,
I get it.
No,
I'm
wait
not,
for-
for a
mention-
reason. You might as well.
Thank you.
Yeah.
First of all, whenever I mention to anyone that I went to music school, they're like, "What? What you did? Like, what you do?" And I'm like, "Voice." So like,
And I use it to talk.
yeah, and I use it to
every
talk,
day.
not sing at all. But people are always hype about that. So
I mean, hey, flaunt it if you got it.
absolutely.
Exactly.
I tell people all the time, like, just go to college, get the piece of paper. It does not matter what you go to school for anymore.
Yeah,
Just,
that's true.
I mean, some things I'm sure it does. Don't listen to me.
Yeah,
what
like
do
if
I
you're
know?
a
But-
doctor or
Yeah.
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 But as a recruiter, I am telling you as my professional advice, most of the time, if you can just get a degree and get like a year of experience doing something, you're fine.
yeah, you don't need a master's at all.
But if you want one,
But if you want
for it.
one,
It could be fun. It could be a fun time.
you want a
if you
name
want.
drop,
Yeah.
go for it.
Yeah.
That's really what it's for.
And I guess
nowadays.
it's like if you can't get experience in anything,
right.
then go get your master's. Go do it. Or if you
Yeah.
just have no idea what you want to do,
That's what
sure,
I did.
go get a master's.
Yeah, that's exactly
Do
what I
something.
did.
Sure. If you've got
Yeah.
the money, go do it.
I didn't have it.
Well,
Still don't have it.
That's what I was about to say. 'Cause it's like
Oh, that's like
it never ends. You know,
No.
the cycle never ends.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's okay. And I didn't have the master's or the master's. I didn't have the money for my bachelor's, so
Well,
still don't have it. And Radford University called me tonight while we were here to ask me for money to donate, and I said
No.
I haven't even
That's
paid off
crazy.
my
Whenever
degree.
they send the emails like,
Rude.
"Do you want to donate to VCU?" I'm like, "No."
they
Rude.
don't know.
It was
my
a rough
info.
4 years.
I've never heard from them. Uncle Sam got me though. So
That's crazy.
God bless.
Your
Yeah.
sister says that all the time. And I'm like, that's crazy.
No, for real. We love to see it. But well, those were some interesting. I love thinking about what we could do. I think that's so fun.
I love that most of us just decided nothing.
I mean,
So
Yeah.
we don't yearn for the
something.
work.
I literally don't yearn for work,
Yeah.
so.
When it said job,
Well.
I'm like, I wouldn't.
I know.
Yeah. I
That's
want
it.
hobbies.
Just give me the check.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I want to be rich. I want things to do,
Yeah.
but I don't really want to work that hard.
Same.
I do have to ask. I know we rebranded and we're not really like fangirls like that. I mean, we are obviously to the core and we've rebranded the Close Friends, but do you have anything that you're a fan of generally? And it doesn't have to be, I mean, literally umbrella, anything.
Anything.
I was thinking about this today. So
I'm sure.
I'm a sports girly. So I'm a Seattle fan through and through. So I'm a Seahawks fan, which has been an interesting take this year, football wise. They got a new coach, Mike McDonald. Shout out. He kind of scares me, but we like him. And then the Krakens, who are their new hockey team. They have a new assistant coach this year, who's a female. It's a new take. She's the first of her kind in the NHL. First of her kind. But it is actually really cool. I reposted some interview that she was doing recently where she was talking about how young girls and boys are going to grow up in Seattle seeing her as an assistant coach and not knowing anything different. They won't know that this is some new, innovative, different thing, and that's really, really cool. So, yeah, anyway, so I'm a big hockey fan, big football fan.
Let's talk about football. How are things going this year for you?
Katie.
We're in the same fantasy league. One of
Moment of
them.
silence.
Yeah. She's in multiple, but we're in one league together.
We can do a
and-
moment of silence for both of my fantasy leagues. It's not going well. Yeah, it's not going well in either one. I feel like this year in fantasy has been insane.
Yeah.
There's a lot of injuries. There's a lot of outs.
I heard.
I mean, the amount of injuries is crazy. I mean, it's like every first string
That's
for every
insane.
team. It's like
Also, can we
rough.
talk about why the projected points for every player is like so bipolar disorder every week? You've got players like last year, I feel like it was pretty consistent where if you had a player who's projected at like 9 points, they'd get somewhere around that 9 points. This year, it's like 0.3 points. Next week,
Yikes.
15 points.
What?
Yeah,
The
so
week
my
after
gosh.
that, negative 4 points.
No,
What
literally.
is
Like there are
happening?
people who get like negative 0.1 points and then the next week come out and bust out 35 points to the best person in the whole NFL. And it's like, what
How
are
can
we?
you participate?
Like,
anticipate
you
anything?
can't.
You can't.
You can't. So no one knows what's going on. Everyone's team is awful.
Yeah.
All of my friends that I've talked to about it, they're like, my fantasy team is also doing terrible. Every time you pick someone up because you're like, oh, this will be a good person to pick up, they play
Injured
awful,
immediately.
or they're injured immediately, or the team just for some reason is terrible and they lose by 20 points. It's just been insane.
It's
The
in God's
Saints-
hands at this point. Every time I pull up my fantasy, I'm like, I'm projected to lose this week. I was
Same.
projected to lose last week, and I won by like 40 points. So
What?
it's like I'm just letting God
they're
take
just
the
making-
wheel.
yeah,
You know
they're
what I
just
mean?
making
Like
some-
I'm projected to lose. We'll just see what happens on Sunday. If I lose,
All
I
vibes
expected
here,
it. If
you
I
know,
win,
like-
we're excited. You know, I mean,
and that's
it's
really what it is. Like
yeah.
last year in fantasy, I was pretty confident going into Thursday night football of what my week was going to look like for fantasy and whether or not I was going to win that week in fantasy. This year, like Katie said, it's in God's hands. It's none of my business what happens. I can't control it.
I'm not even opening the app till Monday.
I don't
you know what
care.
I mean? Like
Yeah.
at this point, like
Yeah.
I don't
I'm-
want to know.
I look at my waivers on Wednesday. I'm trading out injured players, and I'm hoping for the best.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing
That's
that I can
so
do at this
funny.
point. I have no idea what to do anymore. This Saints game where they lost so
Please, I
bad,
can't talk about
people
it.
were leaving in the third quarter, and the coach
home.
got booed out of the stadium.
At
Yeah.
home,
Like if your
That's
coach,
your
so-
own fans.
your own
That's
fans are
embarrassing.
booing
Okay.
your coach out of the stadium.
I will say I need to know Aaron's dad's opinions. I'm sure he has them, but okay,
I'm sure he does, but
The way that like Twitter was calling, like my whole timeline was just like fire Dennis Allen, like for this whole week since they lost.
I mean, the season just started, didn't it?
Well, we're
like
2-5.
Okay.
so it's
Well,
not
damn.
great.
we're 2-5.
And within 5 days, we lost by more than 20 points at home within 5 days.
Fire him.
Because
Fire him.
Because what is he doing?
Fire him.
At this point.
what's going on? We're going into week 9.
8.
8. Yeah, it's
bad out here.
It's rough out here. And also, just even take away fantasy, the NFL season as a whole doesn't make any sense to me. Like teams, I don't know what's going on. A team will play amazing one week, and then the next week they'll lose by 25 points against a terrible team. And like, what? Yeah. What?
There's
You
so many
beat a top
factors.
team last week. How are you losing to the Jets? Like, what's happened? I don't know. I don't know. So really, it's a gamble.
That's why hockey season's back, because
Yes.
football's over. Honestly, we've said it on this podcast already.
Yeah. We'll wait till
Football's
the
over.
Super Bowl and then.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've given up on football for the season, which is fine.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. I'm
The
a Seahawks
Kraken are
fan.
doing well. So
They are.
They are. I was a little hesitant game 1 of the season because they lost, and I was like,
I feel like
one of those
everyone
years.
lost the first game of
Yeah.
the season.
out of 80, I mean, come on.
After watching the Seahawks, I was like, oh, it's going to be one of those seasons. Like, it's just going to be one of those years as a Seattle fan.
Yeah.
But things are looking up, so we're doing good.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, and we went to the Admirals opening game.
did.
That was fun.
Was it?
It
Right.
was fun. I
It
had
was
a great
fun until
time.
the last
The
5
last
minutes.
3 minutes of the third period, they lost.
Yeah.
They were winning the entire game.
Yeah.
And then the last 3 minutes of the third period, the other team scored 2 goals and we lost.
And the
So that was
next
crazy.
day,
Yeah.
that game,
They
had
lost
a,
6-2.
They lost 6-2, but first 5 minutes of the game was a massive fight. I don't know if you guys saw that video.
I did actually, because
It
I
was
was like,
sick.
this was all stemming from last night
Yes,
for sure.
yeah.
And
And
they were
I
not
didn't
letting
even
them
go.
fight on Friday.
No.
You know?
Yeah, it was first 5 minutes. Like, I got the alert on my phone. I'm like, the game just started.
I
Yeah.
knew we were going to miss a good fight
You're like,
too.
what's
Yeah.
happening?
Yeah.
Because normally, so minor league hockey, for those watching who don't know or listening, the refs don't get paid enough to actually care about the fights. They don't ever break them up. But the first game of the season,
It's
they
like, yeah.
were pretending to care, so they were kind of breaking them up. And I
Yeah.
just knew night 2. They were
oh,
gonna-
yeah.
And it's tough when you play the same team like 4 or 5 times in a row, because it's like it just builds up. Like, okay, yesterday you teched
Yeah.
me and it pissed me off,
Yeah.
and the thing too, which we've talked about on this podcast, is like they have real jobs. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
these
They're out
guys-
here working like 9 to 5 at the shipyard. They're
exactly.
tired.
We make more money than them, pretty much.
So when they come to the game, sometimes it's like we're ready to fight,
They're
because
like,
I had a
"Oh,
bad day.
yeah,
Yeah.
and,
all day."
you know,
Yeah.
that guy yesterday pissed me off. So it's like, you
It's
know,
a lot of pent up aggression you gotta
yeah,
get
for
out.
sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
But
Yeah.
we did make the promo video for the
did.
season, which was
Did.
kind of fun.
I
with-
loved that.
When
Our
they took
homie
the video, I
Salty.
was like, do you think we're going to be on their Instagram? And then I just forgot about it. And then they posted the video. I was like,
And with Salty, of
I
all
know.
people.
I know.
Wow.
Yeah.
We love to see
Iconic.
it.
We have so many photos with that dog.
Every time we go,
Every
I
time.
take
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
You have to, I feel
We,
like.
yeah, it's tradition. He always kisses Katie and I on the top of the head
I
with
love
his
it.
little
He
open
eats
mouth.
it.
Cute.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he eats
I
your
love
head.
that.
It's although his fit.
Please.
I don't know what was going on with that one.
I don't either.
Open
I know
chest.
it was like
Yeah.
an open
Open
V-neck.
chest.
It was like an
Yeah.
open
Gold
V-neck
chain.
shirt down to his like chest, down to his belly button.
He's a dog.
Yeah.
Right.
He was wearing a chain.
They do theme nights, but this was
Yeah,
not
no,
one of
no.
them.
There was
just
no-
normal, and he said open chest, chain down to my belly
Yeah.
button.
Yeah.
Okay.
You could
slay.
really see where the raised ticket prices were going this game. They had a blow up tunnel for the Admirals to come
Yeah.
out
Honestly,
of,
take
but the
my money.
announcer was like
Light
a
show?
minute behind.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
For the announcements, so the skaters were coming out, but the announcer was getting the skaters wrong as they were coming out of the tunnel. So that was pretty
bad.
iconic.
Night
The
one, you know?
dancers.
The ice dancers. Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
That's new
I
this year.
can't. I have so many things to say about the ice
It was like the
dancers.
Parks and Rec. You
Yeah.
like, what, get on your feet. Like,
Don't
that's
get me wrong,
literally
like,
what
Katie
it was.
made that.
Well,
Didn't you make a TikTok
yes, it wasn't
about
for the
that?
ice dancers, but yeah, like there was. yeah.
Don't get me wrong, they were great. They were
Huh?
great ice dancers. They were working really hard.
Yeah.
But they were so they're like on the sides.
Like
behind
the
the,
goals.
glass, behind the goals. So you can't see them unless
No.
you're on that side of the rink, sitting in those seats. And then the cameras almost never pan to them. So they're
Yeah.
not on the Jumbotron.
Yeah.
Yes.
So even when
And they're on
like,
opposite sides.
Yeah, and they're
Yeah.
they're on opposite sides. So really, the only time you can see them is if you're looking at the goal and then behind it.
Yeah.
And then you can
Yeah.
kind of see them through the glass, but not really. So like, why
It's
are
so
we
funny.
spending? Why are we spending money on this?
And they
This
do
seems-
different dances.
Yes.
Same song.
Yeah.
Different dances.
And they
going
did
on.
like it's not really halftime because there's 2 of them, like the period breaks or whatever, but
Yeah.
they did like a halftime dance, but it was you girls are working hard and we love you, but like it was not giving.
No.
The songs
For
were
the
bad.
inaugural dance,
Yes,
like
I was
opener.
expecting like some cute little,
Yeah.
I don't know.
It took like 10
pop
minutes
song.
to roll out the mat.
That got me. But Brianna was like, they're still rolling the mat. I was gagged. I'm like,
Please,
you're
and
so right.
The one point when they're like, give it up for our dancers, and then they pointed at them at the world's worst camera angle.
Yeah.
It was like someone was crouched down on the ground behind the dancers at an upward angle, and you got like the back end corner of one of their heads.
Yeah.
And it was like, what am I
Mess.
watching? What am I watching?
So hopefully things get better on that front.
I hope so.
because
Yeah.
I
like
mean, the
the
girls
idea.
are doing their best.
Exactly.
They're just there to dance. It's not their fault.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I do feel like hockey is maybe not the sport to have a
No.
dancing team for.
It's really not. Like, I know they say hockey's for guys, but like hockey's for the girls, gays, and theys. Like,
Yeah.
it is a different atmosphere.
There was
I
a
just
fight
don't feel
this week that like somebody was like, I was expecting tongue. Like their faces are like,
Yeah.
Real close.
like,
yeah, like
about
it's
to
not for the
kiss.
guys anymore. So like the
No.
dancers, and it's like know
What are
your
we-
audience.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And like I'm here for a cheerleader or a dance team or whatever in a sport. I think it's great. I know the dance teams work really hard and that's a tough sport to be in.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense for a hockey team because where do you put them? Like where
Yeah.
are they going? Especially
Yeah.
for a tiny little
Yeah.
AHL league where there's
Yeah.
no room.
Right.
The scope does not have the space for that.
No.
It barely has a space for us. Like
Yeah.
come on. So I don't know. That's
They
my
tried.
opinion on our dance team that doesn't make. I thought
I
it was like a
know.
visiting dance team, and then Nikki was like, "No, they have the Admirals logo on their
a
uniforms."
dance team.
And I was like,
will say,
"Oh,
it bodes
no."
well for us though that we're like pulling enough people in to have the money to do this though, because I think about last year where just randomly, well, it wasn't that random, I guess, for the teams because they knew, but like some of these ECHL teams, they were just like, oh yeah, they're done for the season.
Yeah.
Like we're not, there's no more hockey team at that location
yeah,
anymore.
they just stopped
Like,
it in the
yeah.
middle of the season.
Yeah, and then like the last like 3 Admirals games were like with somebody else who also their other person's games were canceled. So
Yeah.
at least we have some, inflow and pull in the
Yeah,
area.
the money's
going
coming
on.
in. I mean,
Yeah.
Ticketmaster's taking their chunk of the
Please.
money, but I got
Yeah.
things to say. I hope Ticketmaster, if you can hear this, I'm praying for your downfall. Just so you know,
Absolutely.
their fees are just. Tell me why 2 tickets to the hockey game last week were the same price almost as 8 season tickets. Like 8 tickets
Like a
for
pass?
like a half season pass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 tickets because Ticketmaster
That's
charged
insane.
so much in fees.
That's
That
insane.
is insane.
Just so they know, I'm praying for their downfall. If they
I've
can
been
hear me.
seeing TikToks about this band is coming, this K-pop group is coming to LA and they have 2 shows in LA. And so I've been seeing TikToks of people being like, yeah, Ticketmaster gave away my ticket. They like had the tickets in their thing and then it said it transferred to someone else and it was just given away. And so all these people are like, Ticketmaster, what are you doing? I wasn't selling my ticket. Like now ticket to this. And they're like, we're looking into it. We're working on it. And I'm like, their tickets back or getting them other tickets? Like what's happening? And it's like, it's so insane that Ticketmaster is just like, let's see, kind of thing. And you're like, what's happening?
They're a monopoly.
So they
Yeah.
really are a monopoly. And so that's why I was like, I'm adding my tickets right now to my wallet. So
Yeah.
I have them. And they like, if someone's like, oh, if they try to give it away, they can't. It's in my wallet.
Yeah. That's why I don't feel bad about faking tickets.
Well, yeah, because they'll take them from me.
That's what I'm
so,
saying. I don't
yeah.
feel bad.
Exactly.
Aren't,
Yeah.
they, aren't they currently being sued?
I think
Ticketmaster?
Yeah.
so.
We
Yeah.
need them to sue them faster.
I think they stay being sued.
Well,
Yeah.
we went to Post Malone, and my friend Chris and I bought our tickets from the same. We both bought them from SeatGeek, and then we both got them from Ticketmaster, which I was like, okay, monopoly. But like, I got mine emailed to me immediately, and then he got an email that was like, oh, we'll email you your ticket as soon as it's processed, like closer to the date of the
That's
show.
weird.
And I
Yeah.
was like, that
Sus.
doesn't make any. Like, we both just did this. And he's
Yeah.
like, what do you mean you got yours? I said, I added it to my Apple Wallet.
Yeah.
He said, oh, they
Yeah.
said they'd email me mine later. And I-
Well, I think
they
when
don't
I
have
think you're
it.
being like all
Scam.
those other ones, it like depends on who's selling it. Like they can check, oh, I'll give it to them immediately or I'll give it to them closer to the concert. Because I've sold tickets on like SeatGeek before, and always I'm like, oh, like if I have the ticket, like I'll send it to you. But it does depend on like the seller and what they click.
Interesting.
So-
It's such a silly. You would think.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I think it would all
Because
just be the
sometimes
same.
Ticketmaster is like, you'll get your ticket like a week before the show if you buy it like directly. So you just have like a
I've
thing.
seen that happen. Like when we bought Hozier tickets, like they were like, you'll
Yeah.
get them in 6 months. Like when
Exactly.
you know, like the barcode exists or whatever.
Well,
Exactly.
I paid you
Like,
money
so-
for it. Can't you just send it?
Yeah,
Why am
yeah.
I paying for it if it
It's
doesn't
literally
Exactly.
so insane.
I know you
So-
can create the barcode
Well,
right
exactly.
now.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I do hate now that they have the moving bar for scanning tickets.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So
Like-
you can't do like a screenshot situation.
Yeah, which it used to work, so you got to
Yeah.
be real careful now. But
Once you're in though.
once you're in, that's all that matters.
yeah.
Yeah, then
You
you
just
Rip
gotta
our
get in
Joe
the
Burrow's
door.
tickets,
just go
but anyway.
You just gotta get in the door.
yeah.
R.I.P.
Someone's gotta learn how to slice a hole in the fence.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Good old
Yeah.
days.
Yeah.
That's true.
Virginia Beach amphitheater's only so big. They can't guard
Well,
it.
exactly. Exactly. Well, you talked about sports, but we also bond over books.
This is very
Yeah.
true.
So
I just want to know your general thoughts on book talk.
Oh,
Do tell.
that is a great question. I think it's chaotic. I'm in so
Absolutely.
many different avenues of book talk currently. So there is like productive book talk where they like discuss, you know, current books and interesting things. There's smut book talk, which is where like there's like productive smut book talk where they have good recommendations. Then I've somehow gotten on to people who are reenacting like smutty books.
You're
on
lying.
book talk. I'm over it. I'm
Reenacting?
done. Not like people aren't like doing porn on
Right, right,
TikTok,
okay. But like
But,
certain
like-
like romance scenes
yeah.
maybe, and
Or,
they're
like-
like
or,
having
like,
their
he pushed me
boyfriend.
against
or like
a wall.
yeah.
and you're
yeah,
like,
or like Iron Flame or Akatar. People are like
Yeah.
reenacting those characters.
That makes
in
me
those
want to
books.
throw
I'm
up.
done with
Yeah.
I
it.
send them to Devon though because they piss me off. And
Send
I'm
one
like,
to me. I want to see
okay,
one of these.
you're gonna gag like in a
You're
bad
gonna
way.
be
Like I
yeah.
appreciate your artistic standing and abilities. Knock it off. Like leave it.
Keep this.
Leave
you're
it
having fun.
in. You're
Stop
ruining this for me. Like leave it in the book. You guys are. I know the guys think they're like so hot. You're
Oh,
giving me the
absolutely.
ick. Stop it, please.
It's
I'm
really
begging
the guys
you.
make it worse for me. Like
Yeah.
the girls,
The
okay,
girls I can get over.
You're cosplaying, whatever. But when the guys get involved,
Yeah.
I'm like, you were bought into this, and
You're
you think you're
growling-
hotter than you
You
are.
are a G-list actor
Yeah.
who couldn't get
Yeah.
a big role. So
You're
like,
a
you
grown
are
30-year-old
doing this now.
man growling at your cell phone.
Oh no, no,
Knock
no,
it
no,
off.
no, 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 no.
Knock it off.
bad.
No.
Yeah.
I'm
Knock it
so
off.
uncomfortable.
It's
Please.
so bad, please. And so like, I
I'm like
can't
marking
handle
not
that.
interested every time.
I can't handle that.
bad.
So
I
much.
accidentally came across some man the other day, and he was he was reenacting some scene from some werewolf smut book, and I was like, this is the ickiest thing I've ever
And
watched.
girls will like eat it up. So like in the comments, they're like, well, "This is so hot," and you're like, "Don't encourage them." You know what I mean? It's like
Oh,
you're
they
like,
have
Is it hot?
supporters.
Like,
Oh,
Yes.
oh,
what
they're
are
like,
we
this is
doing?
everything
Yeah.
I've ever dreamed of. I'm like, we
Yeah.
have different dreams.
and they'll comment and be like, "You should do this book next."
Oh, no.
It's like, please. Can
or they'll
we-
like comment chapters of books for men to like
Yes.
reenact, and I'm
Yes.
like, this is not. This is
First of all, let's stop being a fan of this random man on TikTok. Please.
Well-
Like that's the gag, and
Yeah.
then stop commenting random pages
Yeah.
and lines for him to reenact.
I know. Part of me is like, okay, you're getting your bills paid, so I respect that part. Because if
Barely.
I mean, if it's paying your bills, more power to you.
How
I would,
do you show your face anywhere?
and
You know what
that's
I
my
mean?
other thing.
Like, how do you go anywhere?
Yeah.
If I could get rid of my self-respect, I'd do it too. But I feel that way about a lot of things. So, but yeah, I can't handle that side of book talk. I'm desperately trying to get off of it.
I think we all are, you know, at this point.
Yeah, I just really am. Although, but there's avenues of it I really like. I love the suggestions. I take them. I've read some crazy shit because of book talk, and some
Yeah.
really bad.
When
really
you
bad
told me the
books.
other day that you'd read Death's Obsession, I'm like, I know she got that TikTok
did.
this week because me too.
I did. I got
Because
it off.
I
of
read it
BookTok.
this week.
and it was awful.
It
was.
was.
I still don't really understand the premise
It
of
was
it.
stupid.
It was like he
She was trying to fuck the Grim Reaper.
Yeah, she
I
did
think-
fuck the Grim
well,
Reaper, and
yeah.
I
Spoiler.
like spoiler. Yeah, well, and I think he didn't kill her because she was pretty. I don't really know. Like maybe she was supposed to die.
Is he bones? Is he skeleton? What's
like,
his-
undetermined?
yeah, they never really said. He's kind of like omniscient is kind of the vibe.
His
But he,
eyes
like,
are milky white. I can tell you that. That's
Yeah.
about what I got for you.
Milky White.
But yeah, she like
Wow.
the beginning.
Yeah.
Well, and this is all like pre-book, but I guess like 6 months before the book started, she was in a car accident that was supposed to kill her, but didn't. But it killed her twin
okay.
sister and her sister's boyfriend, and she's been living with that guilt. Blah blah blah. But it turns out the Grim Reaper like didn't want to take her life because he loved her like immediately and like felt
she was
like
pretty.
a soul connection to her
He
and
doesn't
like
have a soul.
right.
'cause she was pretty.
It was
He's
just
the
like a whole
Grim
thing.
Reaper.
It was just like, and it was just bad.
Turns out you
You're
can be
thinking
too pretty to
logically
die.
about it, Adia.
Yeah.
It was like a 200-page book. They couldn't put a lot of thought
like,
into it.
logistically,
No,
is
there
he
wasn't-
a skeleton?
no.
Yeah, there was no world building because he was 180 pages max.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was
I'm
like,
asking too many questions.
I told as it should be. Get to the point.
well, that's
move
what,
on,
when she
like-
sent it to me, I was like, if this was anything more than what it was, like
what is it called
100
again?
Death's Obsession.
Obsession.
If it was more than 200
Adia said
pages,
add.
I would don't. I'll give you other monster books to read.
I told Katie I finished the book and out loud I just went, what the fuck? Because
Yeah.
I
It
don't know what I don't know what.
Sometimes you just need to like be like, what did I just read?
But she, like,
after you
dies-
finish a book and
Exactly.
you're like,
Spoiler
what was the
alert:
point
he
of
kills her
that?
in the end
Yeah,
to be
spoiler
together
alert.
forever.
she dies anyway in the
Yeah.
end.
He could have just
At
killed
the
her to begin
same
with.
at the
then.
same place she was
That's
supposed to die in
Yeah.
the beginning.
But he wanted her to like heal from like her sister's
The guilt.
death.
Well, she only had the heal because she didn't kill her.
That's
Exactly.
she heals from the guilt that she has
For
from
being a
him
survivor.
not killing her.
Exactly. And
The
then
whole
he kills
book
her.
is just insane.
That's
It's
insane.
insane.
Send it in the group chat.
It wasn't even no, but
And
like
I'm
her
gonna
name
read
is
it.
Lilith. Oh my gosh.
yeah.
Always is.
Exactly.
Like, Lilith. Yeah.
She really like she was going a lot of places because she wanted him to like stalk her basically. So like there was that like we could have just done a dark romance. It didn't have to be like
Yeah.
this. Like it didn't
And
need
I
to
feel like
be.
He's bones.
I feel
That's
like
what
he
it's
didn't
looking
have
like.
to kill her in the end.
I'm getting bones.
Interesting, huh?
Yeah.
There was just a raven on the cover of the one I read, so I have no clue.
Interesting.
It's been wild, but when you sent that, I'm like, I know for a fact she got that off of TikTok because it's been on my like have been putting it on my page this week out of nowhere.
Yeah, I got it actually a couple weeks back on
Oh,
TikTok.
okay.
But yeah, I
Yeah.
read it and I was like, what the hell was that? So I've
Anyway.
been getting
That's
some out of pocket.
crazy.
Some out of pocket rec. I got the weirdest like Stockholm syndrome book off of TikTok and I read it and I was like, that was a crazy book. They kill her in the end. I was like, what?
What's the deal?
What is
Why are we
happening?
killing?
I
You
don't
know,
know.
that's an issue that we
Yeah.
have in our book club chat is like bad female main characters. Like
Yeah.
you put
They're
her through
always
the
so
ringer
bad.
for
For
what?
what reason?
You made her weak for what? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's rough out here. But
I'm a little afraid for book club this year. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be an interesting take. Katie started us off rough. So-
rough.
We're
Katie,
gonna
tell
have them read.
the people what we started
The
book
Minotaur?
club off with. No,
No,
nothing
no.
fun. Nothing fun.
nothing
God
fun.
forbid.
It's one of my favorite books, Carmilla. She's good.
Oh.
It's 150 pages, first of all, because the people in this chat are like, I don't read. 150 pages,
They're
come
not
on.
big readers.
Why are you in a book club?
Let's be
That's
real.
what we said. So really, honestly, this is going to be our telltale sign for book club. Anyone who didn't read this book, we're
Is
just
not
going to
reading
kick
any.
out. Because
Yeah.
if you can't read 150 pages,
Well, that's why I did it, because also Trevor enabled me. He said it's spooky season. It's a vampire book. I was like, you know,
1872?
yeah,
I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
200-year-old book?
yeah. That's what we kicked off book club with this year, ladies and gentlemen.
All right.
Katie
Look,
picked
I-
a 200-year-old vampire book to really
am
keep things
not-
going.
You know, I feel like some of these books get clowned, and how can you clown a classic? You know what I mean?
Well, 200 years old. Yeah. I mean,
I feel like a lot of people clown classics.
I didn't pick Colleen Hoover.
You know
God
what?
bless.
And I can only respect that.
Because
so.
someone else in our chat will. You know they will, Devon.
I really thought about making it
A
a
rule.
rule. Yeah. For
Maybe
the
we
listeners
should.
at home, I hate Colleen Hoover with every fiber of my being. Colleen,
all
if you're
do.
listening, I'm so
Yeah.
sorry. If you have one hater, it's me. If you don't, I'm probably dead.
I mean, she's made millions, so she does not care.
I just can't. I can't do it.
But speaking of bad books, we do have a little game for you.
Fun.
Yes.
So and these are not necessarily bad books, but we did pull 1-star reviews from some popular books that we know you have read.
Okay.
And some of them were not things that you sent me, because I was like, I know some of the things you've read
Yeah.
otherwise, you know, and I tried not
ready.
to
So you
pick
just, yeah.
things that you wouldn't get, like, I'm trying to think of some of those books, like the one I picked, the hockey romance. I'm like, you are not going to remember the name of that. So I didn't. So
Gravity?
Oh, yeah. I forgot what it
ah.
was. But yeah,
I
so I
remember
kind of
things.
picked, I sent some to Erin for her to find, and we just picked like kind of popular. So you should
I'll do my
know.
best.
We do have a couple for each one, because some of them, like I picked like a funny one, and then like the second one has like more detail of maybe what you might be able to actually guess what it is.
Okay.
So
I have the world's worst memories. This is going to be really fun.
I know for a fact one of them
I
you
can't
DNF'd.
Oh, great.
So-
Good.
But you'll know. You'll
Okay.
know who she is.
I love
but
DNFing
So
books.
funny.
Okay.
You'll love it. We can skip that one because apparently she hasn't read it yet. Carmilla was the first one.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to be so honest, haven't even started.
Well, I put it on there because I was like, she should be reading it, but it's
She-
okay.
Yeah, she was like, well, she should. And
I
was
have
like, okay.
until October something.
Next Tuesday.
I have until next Tuesday. It's only 150 pages.
I know. You'll
got
finish
time.
it. You
I was going to
will.
read it this weekend.
Okay, so for the first one, the review says, I'm sorry, what? This is Bella Swan Wattpad. I'm genuinely doubting my sanity right now. How is this book so hyped up? Very broad, but
Yeah.
Bella Swan Wattpad.
yeah.
That is the broadest. Do you know how many books I can
Okay,
read?
we'll give you
All
we'll give you the
And then
second
the
hint.
second one,
Yeah.
the second one is my favorite line of this book sums up my reading experience. My bowels turned watery. I couldn't help it.
You gotta know.
Oh my God, is this Akhtar?
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, this is a Court of Thorns and Roses,
Unfortunately.
and I giggled at that line because it made
she
me laugh
uses
my
it
asses off.
so often.
She
Bowels being water?
She talks
Yes.
about her bowels a lot, and
What?
That's insane.
Yeah.
And everybody clowns her because it's like, what do you mean? Like, did
I
she
gotta
pee
look
her
at this
pants
stuff.
or did she like do
Did she,
something
like,
else?
chatting?
I
You know, like-
I have no idea.
I feel like the Bella Swan review is wild because I don't get Twilight.
I don't
get like
either.
weird 1-star Beauty and the Beast.
Yes.
from it.
Yeah. There weren't
Okay.
that many of those actually, which I didn't actually see any, which is wild because it's very.
It's a literal cursed castle.
It literally
It
is
is
a retelling of Beauty and the
literally a
Beast.
retelling of Beauty and the Beast. He
With like an
turns
additional
into
50
an
pages.
actual beast.
Yeah.
Come on. He
With
locks
an
her in a
additional 50
castle.
pages. This is like one of the most popular books on
I've
BookTok.
yeah,
There's
I've
like 3
seen
million
this
reviews.
Yeah.
so
Adia,
many
I feel
times.
like you would enjoy this book series.
I mean, it's not a bad time.
I want to get into reading so bad.
I wouldn't start here.
No, this is not.
This is not,
There
yeah.
are so many. This
It's
is
a 5-book series, 500 pages for most of them.
and you kind of have to be dedicated enough to go through all the books.
Yeah. So I wouldn't start there.
I just
Because
Yeah.
people talk about this series so much, and you can't understand what they're talking about unless you read all the books.
Yeah.
Because it changes so violently book to book.
Yeah.
Like you read
I've
the first
seen
book
them.
and you're like, oh my god, and
Well,
then
yeah,
you
'cause
read the
they're so,
second
like,
book and
bright.
everything
Yeah.
catches
Yeah.
on fire, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh my god.
Yeah.
So
oh man.
it changes a
Yeah.
lot.
Well, I love that you
get
got
that.
that. The watery bells I knew would get you.
Yeah,
I
that's
knew.
funny.
I saw it on there. I'm like, that's going to be, she's going to have an idea about that one. Can you see it
So
from here or
funny.
no?
I'm so blind.
Okay, good.
The only thing I can see from right here is the capital what.
Oh, that's okay.
That's
Interesting.
wild.
That's good.
Okay, slay.
Okay.
I love being blind. I've got
These-
to get new glasses.
These next two are kind of rough because they're not going to give you much, but I'll give you
Yeah.
like, you can get like an umbrella close to. I feel like it'll be okay.
Okay.
Oh, we should. Okay. It just says Wattpad is calling and asking for its book back girly.
I just know this is gonna be Colleen Hoover.
And you're right.
Yeah.
And if it's Colleen Hoover and Katie's asking me to guess it, it's reminders of him.
Oh,
Because we read that for book club, and I have never hated a book more.
it's literally
There you
same.
go.
I've never hated a
So
book
the
more.
second one, which wouldn't have given you much either, I just thought it was funny. A real snooze
Yeah.
and a half. Her characters have the emotional depth of grapefruits.
Yeah, I would have also guessed
Yeah.
Colleen Hoover.
Yeah.
That book was
I-
crazy.
I knew you were gonna get the author from that one because, I mean,
That book,
everything's surface level.
the whole book can be described as, I went to prison. I'm trying to find my kid. This man is beautiful. Oh my God, he has my kid.
It's not.
He hates
good.
me. I love him. He loves me. The end.
I have my
And
kid back.
What substance? No one knows. Why was she in prison? No one knows.
Well, we did know, but it wasn't valid. It was
Yeah.
like whatever.
Why, like,
Why did they fall in love? For no reason. They have nothing in common. They don't even have any banter.
no. And why did it even all work out in the end? Like,
Yeah,
why?
exactly.
What the I hate Colleen Hoover. Anyway, please continue.
Yeah, that was a book club one.
Please
Okay,
continue.
you're gonna get this one quick, I think. Do you want to read this one, Erin? I don't know if you're on the screen.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay, so this review is When You Fall in Love with a Bat.
Oh, Court of Mist and Fury.
Yeah.
Yes, we love
got
another
it.
Actar girl.
Yeah.
Little
Oh,
bat.
and then there's
We had a
another
second
one
one, yeah,
that, just in case, because I knew the bat I felt like would give it away, but I was like, depending on how many bat books you've read, I don't know.
It's true. That's a good point. I did just read a book about men who turn into ravens. That was
see?
an
Exactly.
interesting plot point.
There
It
you
was
go.
another awful book, in
Well,
case anyone was curious.
what can you do? But our second hint for our viewers, because we all know what it is already, but blank discovers women have a brain and can think for themselves. Literally invented feminism. OMG, woke feminist king.
Hell yeah.
It's Rysand or Rysand. That's the T. I don't know.
I am standing by.
Rysand?
Rysand.
Me too.
I'm never going to say Rysand.
Me neither.
I hate
Really?
that. Yeah.
I also hate it.
The Irish way, isn't it Rhys? R-H-Y-S.
That's
It's
probably
pronounced
why
Rhys.
she claims that it is.
Yeah.
But
yeah. But
Yeah.
my brain read it the other way, and I'm
Me
just going
too.
to die on that hill. So,
Aren't you guys Irish?
yeah.
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 I am
And that's why
currently-
we're saying
I
no.
am currently wearing my Claude ring.
I
We're
was
going to
gonna
ignore
say- I was
that.
going to say, I'm pretty sure.
No one told me it was an Irish book when I read it, so.
Well, it's
So
okay. It's
funny.
low-key about like English colonialism, but yeah,
And we're moving on.
we are moving on. Okay, this is a long one. Erin.
I think we should just read. I'll just read the first paragraph of this.
Okay.
because
First
it-
paragraph.
Exactly. It's like 2 sentences. Here comes a bombshell. Personally, I don't like this series. After hearing so many amazing things about it, I was utterly disappointed in the actual outcome. I will admit I've only read books, a few of them. I couldn't read anymore, so I stopped. However, I know how this series ends, and I think I can still make a valid review.
I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that. There is zero information involved.
Yeah.
So, I don't have a guess for that.
I mean, I think I'll read the next line. Firstly, I just wanted to point out that I do love the creativity behind the book, but there was just a lack of character development, in my opinion. This made me not like the book so much. Or as much.
Yeah. So, I'm going to guess any book ever.
I need you to just
Close, it's the Bible. No, I'm just kidding.
Can I guess the
No
Book of
character
Mormon?
close.
Ooh.
Well.
Well.
Maybe.
Close, but
The golden tablets.
yeah. There is another one. Let's see. DNF.
no.
I was bored to tears. Oh, well, I was thinking like same vibe.
yes, same
Okay,
series.
okay,
Same
yeah,
series.
yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
DNF. I was bored to tears. It's definitely for kids, not adults, because it'll put you to sleep unless you haven't grown up. Very popular. Very popular.
Oh, is this one bad mouthing Harry Potter?
Yeah.
Yes.
People love to hate talk Harry Potter, and I'm sorry if you
And
don't
Katie's
have
one of
joy
them.
in your heart.
I also am one of them.
I'm sorry if you don't have joy in your heart.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if you had a bad childhood. It's not my fault if you don't enjoy things.
They are good
Honestly-
books. They are good books, and I've read those.
I read the
I stand
first
by
and
that.
fourth
Honestly,
one and they were
most of
bad.
the reviews
Okay,
were
you
like
can't just read one.
Wait,
and
sorry, the
four.
second and fourth, and they were bad.
You should read the sixth one. It's great.
Okay. We'll see. I don't know if I'm going to platform her.
Same.
honestly,
Yeah.
most of the reviews were like 1 star. I loved this, but we hate
Yeah.
the
Okay,
author.
and
So
that
I was
is
like,
respectable because she is
and
not
absolutely, I was
right.
like, yeah,
It's the
1 star
way-
her all the time.
She's been doubling
Yeah.
down too. It's like, girl,
Tripling,
it's like-
quadrupling.
yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
if you
Exactly.
made your money, you could have just stayed quiet with your opinions.
Oh, and she's
That's
like
the
going.
gag.
She's
Yeah.
Made
going
the money
full
from the
hand
books,
for
made
it.
money from the
Movies,
movies, like
the
made
merch.
money from all the merch, the
You got a whole
Disneyland
park.
things. Like
Yeah.
you don't need to say anything else, but yet you had to, and
I do feel bad
now you're
for
one
like
of the most hated people.
I do feel bad for the actors because people are like coming for the actors, being like, "How dare you
Right.
support?" And they're like,
Yeah.
"Whoa, we don't. We were just in the movie. We
Apparently
didn't. First
they
of
were
all,
like 12 or 13
Well,
when
exactly.
they started. So what are we talking about? Why are you hating on these
yeah,
actors?
why are you? They
when
didn't
it's-
know her
it's a
political
job?
stance when they were acting in a film. Like,
Yeah.
Exactly.
come on now.
A check's a check.
A check is
Check
a
is
check.
a check.
Check is a check.
And it boosted all of them to like fame. So
And she got
Exactly.
crazy afterwards. So
exactly.
Yeah.
you know, it's a franchise now. You can't really hate the franchise because the person's absolutely insane. So the story's still kind of good.
Makes you
That's
wonder
true.
how much
Say
money
it.
still goes to her. Like, I'm so curious.
Oh, the residuals.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Residuals
I mean, it's
are
her
crazy.
intellectual property or
Well,
something.
exactly.
You know, so.
Exactly.
They can't just like cut the funding off because she's insane, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really wish that she would shut up though. Like,
Yeah.
Same. Like,
she-
that's all.
Oh,
That's
absolutely.
the one.
She is amongst the many that needs her Twitter taken away.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
also
Agreed.
the owner of Twitter needs their Twitter taken
Same.
away. So
Yeah.
you know,
Well, this
that was a
next
fun
one,
game.
I think we can skip this one. I don't know if you've read it now that you said the only Colleen Hoover book you read is Reminders of Him. I thought you read another one.
Is the next one Verity?
Yeah.
Because that's the only other one I read.
Well, we'll skip it then.
Okay.
I thought
Is
so,
it
but
Verity?
then you were like, maybe. Okay, you're gonna know this immediately. I'll give you both of them at once because you're gonna get it with the second one. This feels a little bit like if ChatGPT wrote a dark romance. Then the real one. This was 170 pages of the same 5 pages. Awake, think she's crazy. Ship boyfriend, coming for you, my storm. Asleep, spice. Awake, thinking about my dream. Repeat, horrid.
Okay, so I'm gonna assume this is Death's Obsession, which is fantastic read, and everyone should read it.
Based on these 1-star reviews, you might love it.
You might think it's great.
I just,
Well, these people get. Oh no, that's your rating.
unfortunately, yeah.
I was like, well, this person.
This person right here
This Katie's
says,
rating.
When she sent it to me, I had already liked these, and I was like, "Oh, I'm bringing these up because
Yeah.
that's so funny."
I think it goes
So
to
good.
show that you don't have to read everything that TikTok suggests you have to read.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If
Just
you take
because-
anything from this podcast,
Yeah.
it's that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Just because TikTok says 5 out of 5 stars, must read, BookTok's favorite, you don't have, maybe skim it first. Like,
Maybe like read the summary and then be like, that actually doesn't sound good.
you know what's
So-
crazy? I did read the summary.
Me too. No, that's the thing. They make this sound actually good because,
Yeah.
like, I read the summary and I was like, "Okay, maybe I won't get
It
played
does
this
sound
time."
good.
Right?
Yeah, I was like, this sounds interesting. This
Yeah.
might like hold my
'Cause
attention.
I have been trying to do better about like I'm not just adding everything that's on my feed because
Yeah.
because I've been played like this before. So I read it and I should have looked at the reviews, but I just read the synopsis and I was like, that's enough. You know, like some of these don't even have that going for them.
Yeah, I'm gonna be
So,
honest. I got
yeah.
catfished by this book
Yeah,
massively.
me too.
I was like,
Me
damn,
too.
That was disappointing.
Me
so,
too.
That's so
You know.
funny.
It happens to the best of us. So
Exactly.
It really does.
Here we are.
Okay, I will read the next one.
okay.
I refuse to believe that someone sat down and wrote this and then wrote 21 more books.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god. It's
That 21 gets it.
Yeah.
It's
Gives it away.
Is it the ice planets?
Yep.
Yeah.
It is.
The fact that there are 21.
The
of
way I'm
those
8 books
Yes.
in,
And you know what? I'm not shocked by that.
you DNF the first
Honestly,
one.
I know.
And I made it
I'm
8
not
books.
shocked.
That's wild.
You're more.
Here's
you're
why.
further in.
Here's
Like,
why I didn't
yeah.
make it. They don't even speak the same language.
In the first book only.
so much of the first book, like in so much, I would have understood if it was like a chapter where like they
60%
don't.
By
speak the
70%, they're speaking the same language.
How'd they learn it?
70% of the book they don't speak the same language, and you
Were
want me not to
they- how
DNF
they
it?
get-
They get the
communicating.
language implanted into their brain by
course
like
they do.
another alien shit. I mean, come on. Of
course they do.
21 book series. What are we talking about here?
Yeah.
Like we're
They
just
have to
the
make
science
it
doesn't have to make
somehow.
sense.
Like, let's be real.
the science doesn't have to add up.
Why didn't
don't
they do
care
it at the
about the
beginning of the book
science.
then?
They didn't find the ship until later on.
Oh, okay.
Devon didn't get that far.
70% into the book.
Okay, it's a 200-page book, girl. It's not that long.
But that's my point. You guys couldn't put that 30% in.
Yeah.
They're
You
the first
couldn't-
humans to ever show up on this planet.
It's a fictional tale. You couldn't have put it.
How did they
Sooner in the book?
communicate?
well,
They didn't
Yeah.
for 70% of the book.
So what's the story? What's going on?
it's like a little bit of grunting, a little bit of sign language, a little bit of like just like
Yeah.
pointing to things, like her shivering. He's like, she must be cold. Like, you know, it's like context clues.
For 70% of the book.
Like we're talking 120 pages max. It's not that. The first 50 pages is her stuck in the human ship. I mean, she doesn't
Okay.
even meet him until
You're not making it any more appealing to not
so
DNF.
who's she talking to the first 50 pages?
the other girls on the ship.
Oh,
That's
okay,
how there's
okay.
21 books because there's other girls on the ship.
Lord
many.
have mercy. Okay.
People are
It's
obsessed
so
with this
funny.
series. I do consider like going back and
They're
maybe
like reality TV to me.
retrying it
Like I read them
sometimes.
and I'm like, this. It's not groundbreaking. I've never given one more than 4 stars.
The 4 stars
okay.
is crazy.
That's wild.
Most of them are 3 or less, but there's been 1 or 2 that kind of hit. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It's like any series. You're gonna find something
Yeah.
you like, but they're like reality TV. You come back and you know what
Yeah.
you're getting into. It's trash, but it's
It's a
entertaining.
good like light read that can just like a palate cleanser.
Literally,
yeah.
literally a palate cleanser.
I love watching Adia look all of these up on her phone while we're talking about them. Listen, I've got
If you're gonna start with a monster book, start with this one maybe.
Yeah.
It's light, easy breezy, beautiful. low
You know what?
stakes.
You're expecting them not
Yeah.
to talk for 70% of the book now. You're going
Exactly.
into it with this information.
Yeah.
So you're
So
set.
true. So true.
I was just annoyed by it. I was so frustrated that they still weren't talking at this point. I was like, I can't live like this.
I'm just looking at
So.
Consent and Condoms, Ice Planet Barbarians.
It's an alien book.
I
Like, what are we
just
talking
said-
about? What
I
are we
just-
talking about? Like, I don't know what to tell you guys.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Interesting.
Listen, I've got a 10-hour flight back from Germany in December. Maybe
Pull up the
I'll read
second
it
one.
then.
Just skip to the second one. You don't need all the.
Well, the second and third. Come on.
Yeah,
Like,
you don't
they're
need the first one at this
I'll just
point.
skip to the last 2 chapters.
You
of
know the
first book,
vibe
and
at this
then
point. Yeah.
Interesting.
I got like a 8-hour flight to London in November and
Exactly.
a 10-hour flight back
There you
to
go. I mean,
Germany.
It's
December.
literally you could knock out because the audiobook itself is 6 hours for one of them. And you're reading double that, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Most people do.
I've
So,
learned I
Absolutely.
can't be an audiobook girly.
that's fine. I'm just for context.
Yeah,
You know,
no,
like
no.
it's pretty short. So.
I tried to like download some. I tried to be an
Yeah.
audiobook. It's never gonna be me.
yeah.
It's never gonna
Ridges all over their body, all over.
Spurs, tails.
be me. Spurs.
They're all 8 foot tall.
How did?
They're
Sorry,
aliens!
I'm just. My thing is like how
Okay.
logically, because I'm such a visual person.
Let's read.
Logically,
Okay,
we're
let's
talking
read the
about
second 1-star review.
barbarians.
Hold on, there's another 1-star review that we'll put this in context for you, Adia.
Okay.
What the heck did I just finish reading? A smutty Avatar fan fiction.
Okay,
That's
yeah,
what we're-
'cause they set their blue and
Yeah,
okay,
exactly.
Okay.
That gives you enough. I think.
get it. I
Dia,
get
you
it.
say you're a visual person. You said Spurs. I'm just picturing the back of
Oh, I
cowboy
said
boots.
Spurs.
But I'm just
You
picturing
did you
them
get
on
that far?
Probably not.
Okay.
I don't know. But I'm
I'm
just
just-
picturing them on.
I'm not gonna say it on air.
I know what you're talking about.
Okay,
But
okay.
it's just funny because I'm just picturing.
Yeah, that's basically.
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
8 feet. I feel like that's just a lot.
Well,
That's a lot.
that's the point.
I mean, Scott's 6'1",
They're literally just
and
like
that's
cavemen. I mean,
even-
like they're living
Yeah.
in caves. I don't know.
There's a lot of
They're
things.
barbarians.
They're barbarians. Thank you.
Ice Planet.
Thank
They're
you.
barbarians.
Planet
See,
Barbarian. We
It's
circle
all
back
to the
there.
point.
It's all there.
Just wait till you read the book. There's a lot about them. That's a lot. So there's some Godspeed.
I might pass on that one.
Well-
There's 21 of them. I feel like
You can just pick whatever one you want.
just go dive in.
I'm
Start at
assuming,
9.
I'm assuming they don't relate to each other in
No.
any way, shape, or form.
I mean, yes and no. Like it's like any romance interconnected series where it's like if you read book 5, the other 4 couples are gonna be there and they're gonna be together.
Are they
But,
trying
like,
to get
doesn't
off the
matter.
planet?
No, this is where they live now,
Okay.
girl. They fell
So
in love. They're living here now.
So all 21
They are
women
now.
fell in love with a barbarian.
Well, not at one time,
But
like, over a
individually,
period
over
of
time.
years.
Over time,
Yeah,
They
yeah, yeah.
all fell.
They're creating a new race on this planet.
No,
with
that's what it
literally.
sounds like.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
exactly what it
sounds
is.
Yeah, there's
Okay.
a lot. There's like, it's a whole thing. They can't survive on the planet without like this parasite
The
that keeps them alive.
Sukua?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Okay.
that will find you your perfect
Dude, better than
partner.
me.
But basically,
So it's a parasite that keeps you warm, but also is a matchmaker.
yes, but when you are most compatible with somebody else,
Okay.
like it will resonate, and then they do fall in love. You know,
Okay.
yeah.
You know what? I do it just for the matchmaker. I'm tired of
you
dating.
see what I'm saying?
so-
Like,
It would make things a lot easier.
yeah.
Absolutely.
yeah. So some of these girls, when they get there, they had IUDs, so they're not like fertile. So they don't like, they're upset because they don't resonate with somebody. But then it's like, that's how we wait 5 years for some of these
Oh,
girls to
okay.
like, that's why the stories all
Who's
like
taking
are
out the
staggered.
IUDs?
That was my first thought.
Okay,
That's my
one
first
girl,
thought.
literally
Who's
her-
taking out the IUD?
Literally one girl, she was like, it fell out. Hello?
Ma'am, that's concerning, and you need to see a human doctor as
anyway,
fast as you can.
Fell
Anyway,
out.
but it's like meant to be like, you know.
It's meant to be, so it fell out. Like,
Well, no, I'm just saying, like,
weird.
they didn't all fall in love at one time. It was like,
Prophecy.
all right, I've been on this
Over
planet,
time.
and
I'd
I'm
be
sad.
so bitter if I was one of the ones
are.
that just.
Yeah, they
5
are.
years hit, and all of the girls'
No,
IUDs just popped
literally.
out.
It's like a year and a half. I don't know why. It's the most recent one I read, I think. And she was just like so upset because she wanted to fall in love, and she's like, "What's wrong with me?" And then like her ID phone, she like fell in love, and it was like, "Okay, sure."
You're like, fine, slay.
Okay, true.
Like we know what's
Wow.
happening here. We know
That
what's
doesn't make it hormone based at all.
No, literally. But you know, it's a whole thing. So we have another. I don't know how many more we want to do. This is kind of fun though. I don't know.
I like this.
This is fun.
So I don't know if you're gonna get this because I didn't remember this, but you've also just read it, I think. So Blank wears skinny jeans.
1 star.
One
star.
Yeah, something to keep in mind.
Emo boys.
Okay. Well,
I don't
not
know.
the worst guess.
I don't know if that's a book. Probably.
Do you have the second one, Erin?
Oh, maybe.
Edgy's looking it up. She's
Sorry.
researching.
Oh, yeah.
Emo boys or skinny jeans?
Maybe this would have been a fun time if I were in an on my last brain cell kind of mood,
Oh,
but
shit.
I wasn't. I expected high fantasy world building, high stakes plot, and great characters to follow, and got none of it.
I know exactly what this book is because I read this review on Goodreads when I was putting in my own review because I was like, wow, that is a harsh review because I felt like it had good world building. This is for Fourth Wing.
Yeah, it was.
There you go.
It
Yeah.
was.
I felt that review was kind of wild because I thought it had decent, okay. World building for the extent of the world was an academy.
Yeah, I think the plot's the bigger thing because it's like, what? I mean, they're just
at school.
they're just a school. Like
What-
there isn't
Yeah.
there's not really a plot.
I
at
mean,
this
yeah,
point.
they leave the world kind of sort of like twice to go to a camp
somewhere
but,
else,
Like,
a war camp.
yeah. I don't really feel like the world needed to be built. Rome didn't need to be built that day.
No, for sure,
They were in school.
for
Like,
sure.
It's fine. Everybody needs to relax. Not everything needs to be ACOTAR where there's 47,000 pages of a world building before they tell me what's going on in the plot. So,
Yeah.
you know,
True.
hey.
Although it makes you wonder, did she have a thought in that head when she wrote this book? I don't know. Because I do feel like the longer I'm out from having read it, the more I'm like, was this good or was I just like claiming like a high of like, I just like the idea of what was happening here with like
Yeah.
dragons and then being at school and like,
That's such a good question.
you know, because it's also
I
book
feel
one.
like that's like half the books that I read.
Exactly.
I'm like,
Yeah.
was this actually good or was
Right.
this?
And it's also book
the hype?
1 out of 5. So like, okay, the fact that she has 4 more planned, like something has to be happening here
I
that
know.
I'm not
Well, and I
picking
read
up on.
1 and 2 within the span of
Right.
3 days, which is probably not like I
Yeah.
over consumed that to the max. So did I love them or did I just think dragons were really cool?
Right.
I just really liked it for a couple days.
And you were like on the high after the last book, and then you're like, I need the second one. I need
Yeah.
more.
Well, and then I somehow got TikTok just is listening to me, and I don't like TikToks about books because I don't want to be stuck in like the fan pages about them.
Yeah.
Somehow I got on like SJ Mass TikTok, and she
Yeah.
was talking about different books, and then Rebecca
Yaros.
was talking about her books, and she was talking about how obvious some of the things that she hid in her books, like the
Yeah.
second sigil and stuff like that. And I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah, a
She's
lot
like,
of
I
people.
talked about it so
No,
many
yes,
times, and I was
yeah.
like, you talking about it so many times? What are you talking about? But yeah,
Yeah.
no, I'm sad
Oh.
because I like the dragons and I think they're cool, but
Yeah.
I can't tell. I think her books are decently written. Though. Like, I like the Gauntlet was cool. I like the Gauntlet. The Gauntlet was cool. I thought that was well described. I could picture it.
Did you not picture like a wipeout situation?
I did. I was
Okay.
just describing this to someone recently. I said,
Like, that's crazy.
Oh, I was talking to Sonia about it.
Yeah.
I was like, as soon as they were, someone did like an AI animation of the Gauntlet, and I went, oh, that is not at all what I pictured. I pictured the scene from American Ninja Warrior.
That's
or
literally how she describes
Wipeout.
it. She describes it like that.
Yeah.
That's so
We are not
funny.
the only people who have said that. Other people online are like, I was picturing, like, it's the way she's like, and then I jumped from this to this. It sounds like
It sounds like
exactly
Wipeout.
like Wipeout
I'm an
or
American Ninja
Yes,
Warrior. Like,
yeah,
what are you
it's
talking about?
There's this one thing where you literally have to run up a wall
Yeah.
and like grab at the
Yes.
top and pull yourself up. And I went, that is American Ninja Warrior.
Yeah,
like
that's
that is
literally what
the
they do.
first
Actual
step.
obstacle course.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
stole this
You
whole property.
stole this from American Ninja Warrior.
I think you owe somebody money for this.
Yeah.
I saw someone do like
So
an
funny.
AI mock-up of the gauntlet, and it was like this really cool, like cylindrical thing with all of these different
Please.
moving parts, and it looked really badass. And I was like, that's not at all what I saw in my head.
There's no way.
No way at all. That's what she saw when
just
she was
no
writing
way.
it. And this is so much cooler than what
funny.
she wrote about.
Exactly.
So yeah.
Thank you for participating. That was a lot
That
of
was
fun.
good. I got a lot of good
Yeah, thank
stuff
you.
out of that, too.
Wow.
And you remembered
did pretty
so much.
well.
I did so much better than I thought I did. Thank you guys so much.
I mean, we did try to pick because I'm like, we cannot be picking these. Like,
We can't be picking crazy ones.
Yeah.
yeah, I
but-
appreciate you picking books that I had read.
I wish you did the milk one.
she hasn't read that one.
Oh.
She doesn't run that one.
Get
Okay,
Brie
we-
on this podcast, then we can do it.
Okay.
One of them. We'll
Yeah.
do it when Savannah's here.
Yeah, we'll do that one this year.
Sorry. All right, so what's my prize? What do I win?
Being on this podcast.
You can
Oh my
go
God, it's the
first
best
for
prize.
Loves and Nicks.
Yes.
I would love to go last for Loves and Eggs.
Ooh.
Okay.
That's
You
my
can
prize.
go last for Loves and Nicks.
Yeah.
But I will take being on the podcast as a prize. This has been so fun.
We love
this.
I'm glad you're here. Shall I go first?
Sure.
Yes.
Okay. So I'll start with my icks. This one will relate to the past 20 minutes of us talking, trying to explain a book to someone but feeling insane as the words come out of your mouth. Like, I was talking about a book and my friend was just like looking at me, eyes wide open, being like, what are you reading in your free time, Erin? And I was like, don't worry about it. Just be like, this is insane with me. It's randomly getting hot again in LA. And so I'm like, how do I dress? Because I was moving into like my jeans with like a t-shirt, but now I'm like, I'm sweating. I need tank tops, shorts, like everything. And then another ick, people not knowing what they want at Chipotle. I feel like it's giving a Subway situation. Like,
Yeah.
you've had
I feel
your
like I talked about
Subway
that.
like order
I get that.
for like days.
How do
like,
you not know
years.
your own order?
Exactly.
At this point,
she
I mean,
literally, I
Chipotle's
was
been around for so long.
Yeah.
You know what you want.
exactly.
There's, like,
exactly.
8
And she
things.
was sitting there, just like trying to get. She was ordering 5 kids meals and a burrito
Oh
bowl.
my
And I
gosh.
was like, girl, first of all, your kids' meals are all the same thing. So why are you taking 10 minutes to order these and asking for the chicken that's not even cut that this lady is fully bringing? Anyway, it was a whole thing. But I was like, this is taking too long. And so I was starving. I had popcorn for lunch. Shout out Katie. I don't know why, but just popcorn, you know.
Yeah, you have to.
But I was like, I'm starving. And this woman taking 20 years is
That's the worst.
in between that. But yeah, those are my icks. And then my love is Love is Blind Habibi. It is a television show. It's only 9 episodes and it's like so good, so juicy, so dramatic. It's what Love is Blind, like US wishes it was,
yeah.
but it's not. So I recommend it to everybody.
love.
Nice.
Anyway.
Respect that.
My love for this week.
I can go if you don't.
Yeah, go
Okay,
for
okay.
it.
That is such a great question.
Yeah.
Go for it. I've had very little.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to start with my ick. I only have one. And okay, this is controversial of me.
Ooh.
It's because I've seen too many movies. I'm tired of the Nicole Kidman AMC ad. I'm tired of it.
Okay.
It only took how long? I mean,
Well,
Shocked.
I've been to 50 movies.
yeah. So you've
Yes.
seen her
crazy.
plenty of
I mean,
times.
and the thing is like, I love a trailer. So like, I do want to be there before the movie, but then Nicole, we're done, girl. Like,
Yeah.
I'm over it. You know, they're doing the IMAX trailer, they're doing the Nicole trailer, they're doing the AMC trailer. It's like I don't need all of these.
It's too many.
Too
Yeah.
many.
It's like
Yeah.
heartbreak doesn't feel good in a
No
place like this anymore.
No, it's over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And then my loves for this week, one of them is just fan edits in general.
Yeah.
I just have been scrolling back through my collections recently and just living my life. And then
Yeah.
my other love, tell me why I woke up like Saturday morning. The first thing I see on Instagram, Seattle Kraken goalie Joey Decord's like shirtless
Yeah.
body in his like with the belt buckle and like I was just like,
I'm legally not allowed to talk about that.
no, I might have to block that out. Yeah. Like I sent it to a D and I was like, hello, question mark. Cause it's like, what? It's like 8 a.m. on a
It was
Saturday.
it was the first thing I saw that morning. And I was like,
too.
this is a good morning.
Kraken is the most attractive team.
Yeah.
For sure.
Hands
for
down.
sure.
Hands down.
And I love like everything that happened with that game where at the end he like dogpiled and like missed the whole
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
Whatever.
That
It was
was
so
so
cute.
Where he just like bounces backwards and
Yes.
falls. It was so funny.
Yeah. So I just was like, it's too early for this, but also thank you so much to the Seattle Kraken team for
Shout out
Thank you to
that.
the social media team. Like, shout out you.
Just in general, but especially that day. Yeah.
I know the social media girly for the Seattle Krakens is really enjoying.
Oh
her
yeah.
job.
That's the job. I changed my
Yeah.
answer. That's the job.
I know, whether she, he, they, I know they're having a great time with their job. So shout out to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. My love for this week is that the Caps are on a winning streak, and truly, it just feels so great to be a fan again. I say this as if I've been a fan for years. It's only been 50 or so weeks or so, maybe 40. We're only in almost November.
Yeah.
But yeah, they've been on a winning streak. That's been really cool to see. My ick for the week is that I was showing Scott my TikToks the other day, and he was like, "Oh, you're like a real hockey fan. I thought you were just like saying that like to be cool." And I'm like,
That's crazy.
Cool to who?
But
Because
also,
you
like,
don't even like hockey.
You've been going to games.
That's what I'm
like
saying.
you're not just like talking. You're like going to games.
Yeah,
You're a season pass holder.
I think he just thought I was doing it for shits and gigs or something.
Interesting.
I don't know, but that was
you
a big
were for like a minute.
for a
but
bit.
Then it just
was
became
like a bit, and now it's like, yeah, I actually am. Like I'm like in the statistics and stuff. You know what I'm
You're
saying?
more dedicated than any of us.
Like
so.
I have like a POV. Like I listen to the statistical podcast to know what's going on. But yeah, it was a big ick to show him my TikToks, and one, he didn't laugh at any of them. Two,
Rude.
He thought I was faking the entire time, and I'm like,
it might be over. That's crazy.
here I am putting you on my TikTok, and you're not even cracking a smile
Yeah.
at one of them. So yeah, my dreams of being a swirl. TikTok
Oh yeah,
couple
it's
are-
over.
They're over. They're over.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. So
Yeah.
It's a tough
yeah,
pick.
major ick. Also, my other ick is that my HVAC broke. I don't have heat in my house.
Oh my God.
I have
Yeah.
3
That's
space
tough.
heaters in my rooms. They want to charge me $8,000. They don't want to repair it because it's a pre-existing condition.
Not the pre-existing.
Pre-existing condition is what
Should've
they
got a
called
healthcare.
it. And I'm like,
Jeez.
I don't, what is pre-existing about it? And they're like,
Right.
well, it's rusty. We can't really say when. I'm like, so if you can't say when, how do you?
How do you know it's pre-existing?
Oh, you're talking about for like the
Yeah.
homeowners insurance or whatever.
homeowners, they hung up on me. It's just been a whirlwind. So I just,
Not they hung up on you.
I know.
I was literally like, what do you want me to do to provide that this is not a pre-existing condition? And she's like, well, actually you have to beep, and then just hung up. And I'm like, you bitch. Damn. That,
Oh my
Sometimes
god.
it really is an accident, like having worked in a call center. But if she didn't call you back, it was
No.
not an
That was not
accident.
she called me
Yeah,
back an
she
hour
was like,
later.
Not an hour.
No,
later.
she had to come up with like a good reason.
Yeah,
Yeah,
too.
right.
Yeah. So that's a major ick.
Damn.
And
So Dia's Venmo is actually at the bottom of the screen.
Literally, yeah.
If you want to donate,
I'm
description.
so
the
close.
GoFundMe is getting started.
Like, if I didn't have Phoenix, I probably would not get it fixed, and I would just wait until the
Till summer. Yeah.
Like,
With
if
the
I-
space heater, although that electricity bill is going to be a little rough. But I guess the
It's-
electricity anyway with the heater is
Yeah,
kinda
I mean,
high.
I'm not home half of the week anyway.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Right.
but now Scott's like, not every day, but when I don't have Phoenix, like, hey, I'm coming over today, and he's like, don't you want to go home or something? And I'm like,
No.
no, I don't actually.
Why would you think that?
Like,
actually,
I literally made you my boyfriend so I could hang out.
No, you
and-
buy me dinner and I don't have to pay for utilities. I don't want to go home.
I
So-
just want
Hello?
to see you,
Yeah, and
and
he's-
your heat.
He's literally like, can I have like a second? I'm like,
No.
No.
I don't know if you know what
you
this
have a
is.
second when I go to the podcast. That's your
Yeah.
second. Like, what do you mean?
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's rough out here.
That's
Anyway,
Love. All right, Devon, what you got for us?
Okay, so I've got 2 icks.
Okay.
My first ick is people who brag about not liking caffeine or like not drinking caffeine. We
Can't-
get it. We hear you. You know who you are.
retweet, maybe.
I don't care.
Not any of us.
Not any of us.
It's nobody in this room. But
Yeah.
I'm tired of people telling me like, oh, yeah, I just don't drink coffee. Like I just function without it. That's so
Good
for
for you.
Okay.
So happy for you. I don't need you to judge me.
Humble brag.
I know people have watched me drinking a cup of coffee tonight at our 9 p.m. podcast.
I was going
recording.
to ask, but
It's
I was
a
like,
chai.
she's got something to do maybe.
Just everyone knows it's a chai. It's fine.
Okay.
Anyways, I have a coworker and they love to tell me they don't drink coffee. I get it. Congratulations. I'm happy for you. But it's my biggest ick.
Yeah.
And I feel like people say it all the time. So that's my big ick. I hate people who tell you they don't drink
Can I
caffeine.
add a little bit when they're like, when you're like, oh, I can't relate, and then they're like, you're gonna have a hard time getting off of it. It's like, please don't.
Yeah.
Like, we don't
You're
need
like,
to.
I'm not trying to get off of
Yeah.
that.
No,
Come on,
yeah.
let's-
Or they're like, "Ah, it's just really bad for your health. I didn't ask.
Can
It's
I
good for my health. Or
add
like,
on top
that'll
of that
kill you
too?
early. Do you
Yeah,
promise?
let's see what we got.
When you add stuff to your coffees and
Yeah.
people judge you there,
Yeah.
I like a little caramel sauce in
And
my
that's
coffee.
okay.
I like it with the caffeine and the judgment, you know, that you get for how you like your drinks. It's just I like a little syrup here and now, you
and
know?
that's all right.
Like,
We support that.
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I sent Katie a TikTok today about like when you drink a Red Bull or like a Prime, people are like, you're taking like 5 years off your life. And you're like, okay.
Keep at it.
Do you promise? Like,
Yes.
The
is
world
that a
is
promise?
doing that already for me. Like, what are we talking
What,
about?
what do you want me to do? I can't promise you that just getting up every morning is not taking 5 years off my life. If I want to drink a Red Bull, let me drink a Red Bull.
Literally.
Why are you
Exactly.
so upset about this?
Literally.
So, anyways, that's one of my biggest ick. The other massive ick is men.
Yes.
Just men.
Retweet.
I
Retweet.
Agreed.
Please. I re-downloaded Hinge for the first time in probably a year. I've just been on here living off the vibes. It's not been fun, but it's been better than this. I hate it here. I told Nikki
Yeah.
I made it about 3 days in. I have already turned off the app. I can't do it.
Yeah.
First of all, men are gross. The second thing is they're so strange.
Yeah.
One of my prompts is like, how far do you think you'd make it in the Hunger Games? Why does every man think he's gonna win the Hunger Games?
Come on.
Like, come on.
Be humble.
Look, I'm gonna be there, and
Let's
I'm good
be
with an
real.
axe. So like,
like,
Oof.
like, and also, why are you picking a prompt and then answering it with something like, I don't know, haha, or like if the prompt is like, what's your favorite food, or like, what's your favorite flower, and they're like, oh, I don't like flowers, haha. Like, obviously it's not a prompt, but you know what I'm saying.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Pointless.
why, you have a
Like,
whole list of prompts to pick from.
Right.
Why did you choose that then?
Yeah.
I just don't. I don't
you
get
can
it.
literally just send a like. You don't
That's
have to
it.
say
Right.
something.
Right.
Like, it's
It's so, and
are
like,
we
this
talking
is your
about?
profile. You chose to fill this out. Like, why are you? And my other thing is, if you're over the age of 25 years old and you are still putting figuring out my dating goals,
speak on it.
baby, you're running
Speak
out
on
of
it.
time.
Yeah.
Your hairline is disappearing.
Gone.
Yeah.
You need to figure out you should have been. I saw a 36-year-old man and it said, relationship, looking for short term, open to long, still figuring out my dating goals.
What?
Are you figuring out?
What are you
Yeah.
doing?
I just
You're
like,
about to hit a
I
midlife
cannot
crisis.
understand. I cannot understand when I saw like a 37-year-old man. He was like, I'm looking for marriage, but don't want commitment. Or like, I want intimacy. I don't want commitment. I said, what does this mean? Can someone please
confusing.
Like, should
like
you Google
fully
these terms?
explain to
Yeah.
me? Like, I don't know if you know what this means. You're just clicking things.
Yeah,
And
a
I was
man's
like,
profile said, I'm looking to date, but I'm not looking to marry.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're just wasting time here.
So
okay.
that's fun. Another guy said, I
Yikes.
liked a girl who can talk, but I'm not trying to answer a lot of questions.
Huh? I
Okay,
like a girl
that's
who can talk.
crazy.
I answer a lot of questions.
One of the last dates I went on last year, before I was like, I don't know if I can date for a while, I went on a date with a guy and
Yeah.
he just didn't speak. And I was like, okay, well, I can talk, I guess. And you know,
Yeah.
when you ask a question and you expect someone to answer it and then ask it back, because that's how a conversation
Yeah.
works.
Right.
Yeah.
He was just answering questions and not asking them back. And I was like, cool. And then he goes, what is this, an interrogation with the FBI? And I was like, all right, well, I
No,
gotta
it's
go.
supposed to be a conversation, you
Right.
idiot. Like,
I gotta go.
So I'm having a great time.
Yeah.
I love it here. I think that
I'm
I
right
might
there
just
with
become a
you.
spinster. It sounds really appealing. So yeah, that's my
I'm
big
already
ick.
30. Like, I'll just keep going.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
I'm only 28,
fine.
but like I might as well just give up now. I mean, it sounds more fun. My sister, I love
Quit while
her.
you're ahead is really what it is.
She hasn't dated in like 15 years. She's 7 years older than me. She's so optimistic. God bless her. She's like, just go out and meet people. I'm like, girl,
That's
where?
around here.
First
Yeah.
of all, I'm not dating a
No.
Navy guy.
Yeah.
And she's
So
like, oh
that's
yeah, no, you
90%.
cannot date anyone
Right.
in the Navy. They're awful. I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm aware.
Yes.
And she's like, yeah, but you should just like go out and try to meet people. I'm like, where would you like me to go out to?
That doesn't
Yeah.
involve Navy.
And also-
Just go out.
It's 2024. We don't speak. We like as a
No.
collective, we don't speak to each other in public.
no.
We're not just
First of
talking to
all,
we're not just talking to each other.
The bar scene is not what it was in like the 90s.
No.
You know, like I don't know how
No.
people met at bars. I don't really get that.
or even before COVID, like the bar
Yeah.
scene is not
Yeah.
what
Right.
it was.
No,
Like,
yeah.
no one, people are staying in their little groups. They're not like mingling outward. Like, what are we talking about?
And no guys
Also,
coming up to you
people-
at the bar and it's like, hey, can I get your phone number so I can take you out on a
Right.
date later?
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's trying to buy you a drink and take you home.
Yeah.
That night.
Yeah.
Like his goal is not to like get to know you at that bar. You can't even
Yeah.
hear each other at that bar. Like,
Yeah.
You're like, what? No.
Yeah.
I will say, optimistically, statistically, it is likely that your partner is just currently married right now and they just haven't gotten divorced yet.
great.
Okay.
I didn't meet
perfect.
Scott
I'll,
because he was married. I was married.
Yeah.
We both got divorced,
There
and
you
look at us
go.
now. So your current
But
partner.
you were married, so do I have to get married and then divorce?
no. I'm just saying.
There's going to be a reflux in the pool.
Yes.
And,
Those people have to be divorced
And
first
they're gonna
to
wanna-
re-enter the pool.
and they're going to know what they want mostly.
Yes.
There's going to be some that don't, obviously. But
because
then
I found Scott 2 weeks after he got on Tinder. So,
You know, I've been hearing a lot of people finding the loves of their lives on Tinder.
but you got to get them right when they get on.
But here's
Like,
the problem.
not
I'm
like-
banned. I'm banned from
You're
Tinder
banned?
for life.
oh no.
Why are you
Yeah,
banned?
that's a great question. Here's the thing about Tinder. When you get banned from Tinder, they will not tell you why. And you can email Tinder corporate and you can say, hey, why am I banned? And they will go,
Yeah.
can't tell you. And they will never tell you.
That is
At all.
Crazy.
So I got banned in college. I'm pretty sure I know why. I made one small little sugar daddy joke
Oh,
to a
yeah.
man.
In person?
Really, no.
And he reported.
Oh,
Yeah, it really pissed
okay.
him off. He was really angry.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Did not land well.
Yeah.
My humor's not for everybody.
Yikes.
And he reported me, obviously, and I got banned from the app. And I'm still banned to this day. I cannot create a Tinder unless I
That's
get
so
a new
silly.
phone number.
Like one conversation. Like you couldn't give me a warning or like
Yeah.
a, you know what I mean?
Just use my
Yeah.
phone number.
Yeah.
Well, I tried that with my friend Shim, but the problem is every time you log in, it pings that phone number.
Okay.
So like it kept pinging her phone number.
I'll
It's
give
just
it
a
to
lot of work. I mean, hey, I'll
I'll listen.
Send you the code.
She's like,
I guess I'm
we need to
going
get you
on
a Tinder,
Tinder,
sponsorship.
guys.
Is
Yeah.
the thing.
Yeah.
She's out here.
Tinder, if you can hear me, I'm sorry. I was young. I was
just a
19,
joke.
and it was just a joke. I was
Exactly.
kidding.
If I knew people got banned, I would have reported more people.
Yeah,
Like
I
I
reported
met a
a
guy who was
lot
a
of people.
catfish. Like I
Same.
mean,
Honestly.
know-
I would have reported his ass.
I know there's people doing way worse things
That's what
than
I'm
that on
saying.
Tinder.
Yeah.
Your
Yeah.
sister is also banned from Tinder for life. We don't know why she's banned. God only knows.
Oh my
I know a lot of
God.
people
That's
who are banned
incredible.
from
Yeah.
Tinder for life.
Well, it sounds like they're pretty lax with their ban situation. Like you
Yeah.
had potentially one comment. I
It
doubt
might have
there
changed.
was.
This
yeah.
was 2016, 2017,
Yeah.
2017.
Yeah.
So who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? Who knows? This guy could have also made up literally
Yeah.
any
Well,
reason
yeah.
to ban me.
Could
He
have said
didn't have to
anything, yeah,
have
for sure.
Yeah.
evidence. So.
Yeah.
That's true.
But that's my rant on my icks. My
Yeah.
loves are just that hockey's back. I'm so excited.
Yes.
Opening
Yay.
game for
Me too.
our little minor league is so fun because we just watch them beat each other up. They don't
is.
always win, but they're fun to watch
They are.
fight. Katie and I, well, actually, all three of us have seen some really crazy
Yeah.
fights.
Yeah.
We watched them scrape blood off the ice one
Yeah,
game.
that was wild.
Oh,
wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We watched them carry someone off in a stretcher
Well,
last
that one was
season.
sad.
That was sad.
Yeah.
I haven't seen
But
that
also kind of
before, yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
They body slammed him hard.
50 cent wing or not wings.
Wings.
We got wings on the brain.
Yeah.
Wings on the
Well.
brain.
50 cent hot dogs.
Hot dogs.
Yeah.
Right?
Dogs.
Or dogs. And then they just announced they're doing some wing deals.
Ooh,
now.
that'll be fun.
Nice.
Wednesdays and Sundays,
Well,
baby.
The best days. Yeah, so I'll be there ready to go.
But yeah, no, super excited that hockey's back. That'll be fun. I get to watch it at home and go to the games. And then I'm going to Europe in like 3 weeks. I'll be gone for a month and a
Amazing.
half.
Oh my gosh.
So
I'm jealous.
I'll be in London for a week, and then I'll be in Germany for a month with my family.
Jealous.
All right.
Download
So-
some Ice Planet books.
I will be
You might
reading
finish the whole series while you're there. Who knows?
I've got a lot of free
Honestly.
time.
Yeah.
My niece and nephew are pretty young. They go to bed
Yeah.
early. I got time to kill.
Oh man.
So
Better
yeah.
than Death's Obsession. So
God, and you know what? Not hard to beat. But if I can get
Exactly.
through that, I'm pretty sure.
get through anything.
Yeah.
You can
When
get
I
that in
started
anything, yeah.
Ice Planets, I had like more of a dedication to read quality books, and
I
now
see.
I've read some really terrible things. So I'll read anything.
There's a lot out there, unfortunately.
There is a lot
Yeah.
out there. So
Anyone can be a writer these days. So.
you know, Colleen Hoover really did teach me that. So
Yeah.
yeah.
She
I
opened it
started
up.
writing a book.
Me too.
Because Katie inspired me to
Yeah.
start writing a book. I'm gonna be honest, the plot messy. I'm about 5 chapters.
You know,
in.
it's crazy.
I'm
I
having
love
a
it.
great time.
you really start to think about like, damn, I really went hard on some books for what? Like,
This is hard.
Yeah.
I'm like 5 chapters into this, and I was like, you know, maybe I judge people a little too harshly. Maybe
4 stars
Maybe
only,
not
you know?
everyone
Yeah.
can write a book.
They
Yeah.
try. You know.
So funny.
But thank you so much for coming, Devon. This has
Yeah.
been a blast.
Yeah.
Thank you
having
guys
you.
for having
About
me.
time.
Honestly.
Yeah.
And thank you to all of our listeners. Shout out to Devon's sister. She's a true ride or die. She listens to all of these.
Shout out to the Germany listener there.
Ooh. And if you're listening, subscribe on YouTube. Follow us everywhere. We're everywhere you listen to podcasts and on social media.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.